right, good morning, everyone. The July 23rd regular board meeting is being recorded and is streaming live on the district's YouTube channel. Members of the public are welcome to record or photograph the meeting, provided it does not cause a disruption, including obstructing the view of others. Roll call. Trustee Hughes.
Present.
Trustee Hernandez. Present. And Trustee Sanchez.
Present.
And I am here, Carla Corona. Trustee Mann is not here today. All right. To closed session, public business from the floor. Are there any comments from the public on closed session items?
We have no comments for closed session.
All right. The Board of Trustees will go into closed session and reconvene the regular meeting at 11 a.m.
Good morning. Today's meeting is being recorded and streamed live on the district's YouTube channel. Members of the public are welcome to record or photograph the meeting, provided it does not cause a disruption, including obstructing the view of others. If you wish to address the board, please complete a speaker form and submit it to Ms. Orozco before the public comment period of the meeting. Once public comment period has ended, the district will no longer accept new forms. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes. Plus, please note that the total time allotted for public comment is limited to 20 minutes, plus for agendized items, a separate 20 minutes for non-agendized items. If there are a substantial number of speakers for a particular agenda item or topic, the board president has the discretion to revise the allotted time to each speaker. No speaker may yield their time to another. The board welcomes input. The board welcomes public input and, by law, does not prohibit criticism of the district, including criticism of district employees or the Board of Trustees. However, speakers are cautioned that no person is immune from liability for making intentionally false or defamatory comments simply because those comments are made at a public meeting. Furthermore, the district expects mutual respect and orderly conduct to maintain a disruption-free meeting. The board will not permit any disturbance or willful interruption of its board meetings. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Sanchez.
Everybody? Your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. Thank you so much.
All right, item number 4, public comments from the floor for PINCO items. Are there any comments from the public on PINCO items?
We have no comments for PINCO.
Thank you. B, approve PINCO year-end authorization for appropriation transfers. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the authorization for appropriation transfers as presented. Can I get a motion? Second? Second. Any discussion? None? All right. All those in favor say aye. 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 And we have someone that has lost their voice, and I am getting over cold, so
And I'm right in
Miguel.
the middle. Boom.
Miguel may have to speak for us
You
eventually.
sound so healthy.
C, approve RFP number 0726-27 award Cisco Foods for Broadline Distribution Services for the school year 2026-27. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees authorize PINCO to enter into agreement with Cisco Foods for the 26-27 school year as presented. I'll make that motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, item passes. D, approve purchase order schedule PINCO. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve and authorize the purchases outlined on the attached schedule. Can I get a motion? Second? Second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. 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 All right, motion passes. We will reconvene the regular meeting. 6, recognition reports and public comments. A, Golden League conferencing. Ms. Ramos.
Good morning, Board. I am going to introduce Director of Personnel Matt Anderson, who is going to share an update on football in the Golden League.
Welcome, Mr. Anderson.
Good morning, Board and Cabinet. Appreciate the time to present on our update to the Golden League football specifically today. So what you are going to be updated on today is really the culmination of 15 years of conversation of how to address certain things with football. It goes back to when I was the principal at Antelope Valley High School in 2010. Excuse me. And we were trying to address an 8-team league with such a discrepancy between the top end of the league and the bottom end of the league. Football is a unique sport. So you got to put this into context. There's no weight divisions. It's a physical sport where position meets position. And so there's an attempt here to address some of the disparity between an 8-team league. And what you're going to see is in line with the pattern that CIF has laid out. So as we know, we are an 8-team league made up of our 8 comprehensive school sites. That is the Golden League. That is unique in CIF because you have one school district that actually makes up one league. That's not normal. That's a benefit to us because we have the ability to self-determine in many ways what's best for our student athletes because we're one school district. So arriving in the fall of 2026, this football season is an update to where we've been in the past. So competitive equity is going to be the basis for which we've built this conference. Competitive equity is a concept that the CIF has rolled out over the last decade, which is based on the idea of matching teams based on schedule, of strength of schedule and of their league positioning. And so we have taken that and we've applied that to this update to the Golden League. And so what you will see is a Golden Conference for football. It's called the Golden Conference, broken up into 2 4-team leagues. So here's what you will see. For the 2026 year, in football, we will have the Golden Conference broken up into the Golden Mountain League and the Golden Desert League. And these teams that you see here are a reflection of the 2025 season. So last season, at the end of the season, CIF uses a rating system, and I'll show you later. It's called high school rating. It's a national rating system. It's what CIF uses for their competitive equity to develop their playoff brackets. So in all of our sports that compete in CIF, when our teams go to the playoffs, their playoff divisions are based not on geography or enrollment size. It's based on competitive equity. It's based on the high school rating system. So what we did is we took the 2025 ratings, which is what you see before you, and we broke the Golden League up into a Golden Conference with these 2 leagues. So Lancaster, Quartz Hill, Palmdale, Highland will make up the Golden Mountain. Knight, Little Rock, Antelope Valley, and Eastside will make up the Golden Desert. I put the numbers on the Golden Desert just so that you are clear in understanding that this was based on the way that the teams were rated at the end of the 2025 school year. The way that this will work, this is now written into the Golden League Constitution, is that this is in place on a 2-year basis. So every 2 years, there will be a reseeding. So the idea is after 2 years, we'll relook at the ratings and things will be reseeded based on the way that the ratings are in the high school rating system. So when we were an 8-team league, there was a 7-game league schedule for football and then a 3-game non-conference schedule. So a 10-game season. What that did was it meant every one of our teams played each other, and this is where we got into some of the problems of the disparity between the top and the bottom, just to be frank. What this is going to do is create a 5-game conference schedule and then a 5-game non-conference schedule. So what we're doing here is we're allowing teams wherever they are at to schedule based on what's best for their student athletes to build success, to put them in a position to get some momentum, to not be demoralized, and at the other end, schedule as aggressively as you want. So what you see is not permanent. This is a 2-year cycle. 2028, it will reboot and we'll see a new seeding. So the way the system works is each of the 2 leagues will play each other. So that's 3 games. And then there'll be 2 cross-conference games. That makes up the 5 conference games. So the 1 and 2 will play the 1 and 2 of the other side. The 3 and 4 will play the 3 and 4 of the other side. So just to play it out, Lancaster would play Knight and Little Rock. Quartz Hill will play Knight and Little Rock. Antelope Valley plays Palmdale and Highland. Eastside plays Palmdale and Highland. The 2 cross schedule like that. Okay? So that's the function of the 5 conference games. That's what we see before you. Here's the benefits of this. Competitive equity is built on the idea of creating that incentive and putting our student athletes in a place where they're competing on a level playing field. CIF has adopted it. It's the way they do their playoffs. We've modeled that in bringing this to football. Flexibility is key. Now we have the ability to schedule half of your games in a way that is designed to put you in the best situation to compete. You want to schedule however you want, strong, however you want to call it. You have the ability to have half of your games, and then your conference games are aligned against competitively equitable teams. So it's a way to address that. Here's another benefit, the last on that slide. In an 8-team league, you have 3 guaranteed playoff spots, and then there's a potential for a 4th at-large. By splitting into 2 4-team leagues, we now have 4 guaranteed playoff spots, 2 from each league, and the potential for at-large. So we're increasing the number of our teams that have direct access to the playoffs. In divisions, that would be equitable to their level. The reseeding is the key component. That's a product of every 2 years. So what we have in place will be for the 2026 season, the 2027 season, and after the 27 season, we'll reseed for the 2028. Here, I'll click on this. This is the site that CIF uses. It's a paywall, so I can't go any farther than this, but this is the site. It's a national website. All the teams in California are rated. This is what we use to reseed. How did we get here? So as I referenced at the beginning, this conversation has been around for a while, trying to figure out how to put our student athletes in the best positions to be successful. It ultimately started when the Golden League football coaches voted and approved this. The athletic directors then voted to approve this, and then that ultimately was approved by our athletic council in January of 2025, and we've worked to put the process in place to roll it out in the fall of 2026. So when the athletic council approved the change, it changed the Golden League constitution. Now football is listed as the Golden Conference with the two leagues. I'll end it with what was the idea behind this. Well, if there's a mission statement behind this pretty radical change for one of our sports, it's to structure the Golden Conference with competitive equity by creating evenly matched environments that inspire our student athletes to continually for motivation to improve. So competitive equity, some of those other things I've already touched on. I think this is a really positive step in a sport where we've seen a big disparity. And the beauty is here, it's not locked in. There's a constant reseeding every 2 years. So with that, that's an update if you have any questions.
Thank you. I have questions, but let's, Miguel,
I
do
just
you
want
have
to
any?
say that I never heard of this. This is pretty good. This is going to give our student athletes more opportunities to make it to playoffs in general, not just 2 teams, but now we're talking about 4 teams. The scheduling, it's going to be good because now the coaches can go, like you said, stronger, Bishop Aman, Mater Dei, down below a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And they could get exposed to that, and they have to be reminded, grades come first. They can do it, you guys can do it too. So this is going to be good. Good exposure for the student athletes. Yeah, thank you for this.
Cynthia, did you have anything to add? No? Okay. So I have a couple of questions, and maybe it's more clarifying as well. You're saying 5 games and 5 games, so that means there's 10 games over the season. And what was prior?
10.
Oh, so
But
it's still 10.
But it was structured differently. So
Oh, okay.
you have all 8 teams playing each other, which would be 7 games, and then you have 3 non-league games.
Okay.
Now we have 5 conference games and 5 that we can schedule based on, the relative strength of how we want to schedule.
Okay. Can you go back to the slide where it has the schools listed? I can't find my paper. Okay. I guess my question here too is how does this impact the fundraisers and the ASB when it comes to, I guess I thought there were less games, but you're saying there are not less games. But thinking of, socioeconomics, ASB, I know there's always challenges with that. So, do you feel like that's going to be something that we're going to have to look at to make sure there's equity in all of that as well, so that each school still has the same opportunities of fundraising and their ASBs? Because, Quartz Hill, Highland, I just look at those schools, and I mean, if you look at demographics, right? There's that. And then also the parents. How did the parents and families and athletes react to this shift? Or do they not know yet?
So I'll start with the first question. So what I would say to that is, what this is designed to do is to build more success in the programs that have been struggling to find success. So what you have there is sometimes your numbers, like students coming out for football will suffer, or students won't make it through the season. There's a bit of a demoralization.
Mm-hmm.
And so what this is doing is this is building a foundation where the platform and the schedule can allow a program to build momentum. More people in the stands, more students retained into the sport, right? And so that's the idea with it. So then how would that flow into fundraising and those things? Energy, excitement, wins, help. That's just sports. That's the way sports work.
Matt, before you go on, if I can just add on to that point, I just want to emphasize that if you watch college football, and there's at the beginning of the season particularly, there's some very unbalanced games, and not a lot of people show up. They're not necessarily well attended. And we've noticed that if it's going to be a very lopsided score, or predicted to be, not everybody's excited to come. But as Matt said, as it gets a little bit more evenly matched and a little better competitive equity, there's the potential, oh, this is going to be a good game. Families and students may show up in greater numbers.
Then in terms of how the parents have been, and the players, the student athletes have been notified, that's a school site thing. Everybody has done it differently. I know, talking to Mr. Mercier, he had a meeting last night with his football parents. They talked about it. So I don't have
And
a
what did
direct
those
answer to
parents say? Or I don't know if Mr. Mercier.
Functionally, it doesn't really change for the athletes.
okay.
They still have the 10-game schedule.
Okay.
There's more opportunity to go to the playoffs. The level of your non-league schedule now goes from 3 to 5 with maybe more competitive games. Or, on the other end, schedule as aggressively as you want. I think people, I don't have a direct answer, but I think.
I mean, I guess we'll find out, right?
Yeah.
And this is a done deal. This is nothing
So
that
this was
we need
adopted
action on.
into the Golden League Constitution, yes.
Okay, and then my other question is, what is the athletic council? Who is that?
So the athletic council is the 8-member school principals.
Oh.
Who have a president over the athletic council that rotates every year, and the athletic council adopts, adjusts, adds to the Golden League Constitution. The Golden League Constitution is the actual document that provides the rules, the regulations for our sports, tiebreakers, all the finer details for each sport are laid out in the Golden League Constitution. That is overseen by the 8 principals.
Okay, great. And then, Mr. Meehan, just a question as far as if this is coming in the next school year, to make sure that there's some sort of a communication campaign on, hey, this is what we're doing. It's something brand new, that kind of thing.
Yeah, each side is communicating, as Mr. Anderson said. We can put something out, but also, as Mr. Anderson said, not a lot of people are going to notice a difference. Where will be a difference, and don't see it by looking at the schools as they're laid out here, but sometimes there's rivalries, and those may not be scheduled. They still have the opportunity to schedule, but they may not be scheduled if they're outside of each league, and they have one school has an opportunity to play someone that's going to help advance their ranking. So, but we can put something out. Most people won't notice a difference.
And right now we're having a lot of student athletes that actually do go to D3, D2 schools. So they're going to have to learn how to time manage their school versus with their football.
Yeah.
Or any sport, to be honest. So time management is very difficult if it's their first time experiencing it. This is going to help them out in the future, in the long run.
Is this going to also, like when you say non-conference, that means out of AV, right? So does this then add more time out of school, out of classrooms?
Theoretically, or potentially, yes. But one of the benefits of us being in Southern California, it is the greatest geographical footprint for high school sports in the country. There's teams everywhere, relatively close to us, whether that's just down the hill in Santa Clarita or the Valley or Rosamond. So functionally, it just gives us 2 more non-league games to schedule. So it's relatively minor, but that does a lot for your record at the end of the year and momentum.
Sure, yeah, no, that makes sense, but I also, to kind of piggyback off of what Mr. Sanchez said, as far as,
Yeah.
we're here to educate,
Yep.
and yes, this is all enrichment and career, potentially. And remind me, what's the GPA for athletes?
Well, the standard GPA to be eligible is 2.0.
Okay.
To be eligible.
Okay.
We do have a probationary function, but 2.0 is the standard.
Okay, great.
It's 2.0, or sometimes the coaches might higher,
Mhm.
the GPA.
All right, anything else? Anything else, Mr. Anderson?
No.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
That was very, very helpful.
Thank you.
B, annual written report to the Board of Trustees concerning physical education. Dr. Grado?
Yeah, that's just a required report for the board's knowledge, but it's strictly just a report that has been given to you.
Great, thank you. C, Quarterly Williams Complaints Report Summary, April 1 to 2026 to June 30th, 2026. Ms. Williams?
Yes, good morning. We did receive one complaint during this time period regarding the number of restrooms available at SOAR Prep. The complaint was reviewed, investigated, and determined that the district meets all requirements.
Okay, thank you. D, AVSTA Report Update. Mr. Vensko?
Good morning, Madam President. So today, you have an item on the board for the JPA update. I'll leave the discussion for that later. But we are working with a firm to find a replacement for the CEO, Mr. Fusilier. He will be ending his tenure at the end of this calendar year, so we are working with a search firm to conduct the search to find his replacement. And again, as I always, thank you to the drivers who got all of our students to summer school safe and on time, so thank you to them. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. All right, E from AVTA, Mr. Millings, I don't think we have an AVTA rep here. All right, F from CSEA, Cynthia Hausman. Do we have a CSEA rep here? Nope, okay. G, public comments from the floor for agendized items. Are there any comments from the public on agendized items?
We don't have any comments for agendized items.
Okay, H, public comments from the floor on non-agendized items. Are there any comments from the public for non-agendized items?
Yes, we have one.
All right. The public is invited to address the board on any matter not on the agenda that is within the jurisdiction of the board. To address an item not on the agenda, speaker forms must be given to the designee before the board president announces this item. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and the total time for public input shall be limited to 20 minutes. Only one person is permitted to stand at the podium at a time. No speaker may relinquish a time allotment to another speaker. During public comments, the board listens to concerns and issues. The board may ask questions for purposes of clarification. The law prohibits the board from entering into a dialogue with the public or taking action on items not on the agenda. Stephanie Ayers. The topic is adding wrestling as an athletic period. Stephanie Ayers? Ayers, okay. Hi, welcome.
I would just like to request that the district consider wrestling to be added as an athletic period at all campuses. With the opportunity for football, baseball, basketball, even other activities like marching band, have the opportunity for the students to train during the school day, condition, work with their teammates. And if this is allowed, then this would also assist with the wrestlers not having to work out later in the evening, be able to get home, work on their schoolwork, and have an opportunity to be with their family a little bit more during the evening than getting home so late.
So you're, just for clarification, you're commenting on having a specific period in school just for wrestling?
Like the 6th period.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the other athletes have it. 'Cause
Okay.
I've talked to a couple of different schools, coaches, and they don't have wrestling. It's only an after-school
Oh, okay.
period.
What school are you referencing?
Highland and Lancaster do not have wrestling, that I know for a fact, as an athletic period.
Not even in 6th period.
No.
So they don't have PE at Highland or
They-
Lancaster, Mr. Nehan?
They have PE, they just don't have it as an athletic, like the wrestlers have to take an actual PE class. They don't have a wrestling period.
Okay.
It's like
If-
the team doesn't get together, like football gets together and basketball.
Oh, I see what, I think I understand what you're saying. So,
Okay.
Mr. Nehan, can you please give Ms. Ayers your card? And maybe talk with Mr. Nehan just to make sure we're perfectly clear so that we know what exactly the board knows so that we can see if there's any other info we need.
Okay,
Thank you. Okay, 7. Educational Services Action Items. A, public hearing. Open, conduct, and close a public hearing to determine the level of support for PRISM School of Arts and Technology Charter School. The Antelope Valley Union High School District Governing Board will now hold a public hearing on the charter petition submitted by the PRISM School of Arts and Technology Charter School to operate within the geographic boundaries of the Antelope Valley Union High School District. The action is being conducted pursuant to Education Code Section 47605. This action will proceed as follows. First, district staff will provide an opening statement, and the district's legal counsel, Suki Aluwalia of Atkinson, Adelson, Loya, Rudin, Romo, will provide an overview of the requirements for a charter school petition and the process used by a school district in reviewing a charter petition. Second, the PRISM School of Arts and Technology Charter School will be given up to 10 minutes to make a presentation about the proposed PRISM School of Arts and Technology Charter School. Third, the board will hear any public comments. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each. Total time for public comments will be limited to 20 minutes. Speakers shall direct their comments to the board and are urged to avoid repeating points made by previous speakers. Fourth, board members may ask clarifying questions to staff, PRISM School of Arts and Technology, and or public speakers, but no action will be taken at the public hearing. Thereafter, action on the PRISM School of Arts and Technology charter petition will be placed on the agenda of a future regular or special meeting of the AVUHSD Governing Board. Open public hearing. The public hearing on the PRISM School of Arts and Technology charter petition is hereby opened at 11:31 a.m. Staff presentation. At this time, I call upon Dr. Greto to introduce staff and legal counsel.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning, members of the board. The charter petition for PRISM School of Arts and Technology was received by the district on June 8th, 2026. Following today's hearing, district staff will complete its review of the PRISM School of Arts and Technology by petition in accordance with Education Code 47605. To review this charter, we have convened a committee of district staff who specialize in the areas of instructional programs, special education, business and finance, human resources, and facilities, among other areas, to assess the elements that must be described in the charter according to Section 47605. District staff will also work with our legal counsel to analyze the petition in relation to the legal standards in the Charter Schools Act. After completion of its review, this committee of district staff will then publish on the district's website All recommendations and proposed findings regarding the Prism School of Arts and Technology petition at least 15 days before the public hearing at which the board will either grant or deny the petition. It is anticipated that the board's decision on the Prism School of Arts and Technology petition will be made at an upcoming board meeting. At this time, I'd like to introduce the district's legal staff, counsel, Suki Aliwalia.
Good morning, members of the board.
Good morning.
This petition has been submitted by Dr. Derek Spiva, and he is the lead petitioner. He is going to be making a presentation to you shortly. I just wanted to go over the role of the board potentially if this petition is approved. When a charter petition is submitted, the board must conduct a public hearing, which is what you're doing today, to determine the level of support for the charter petition from teachers and other members of the community, as well as parents. Thereafter, a decision is made. If the board does decide to approve this petition, you become the authorizing agency for that charter school. And what that means is you are then held responsible for ensuring that the school operates in a fiscally responsible manner, that it operates in compliance with the law, and that it operates in compliance and in conformity with the terms of the charter petition. So in the assessment that we're doing of that charter petition, we are trying to make sure that it is very clear the type of educational program that they're going to be offering. It's very clear the type of, or the manner in which the school will be governed, and that also the way that it will be operating will be in a fiscally responsible manner. Because we don't want to make a recommendation to the board to authorize a petition that isn't financially sound, that isn't operationally sound, and isn't providing a sound educational program for the students that would be served by that charter school. We take this responsibility very seriously because of the potential impact that would be placed on the district. We will be preparing that staff report, and that staff report will be provided to petitioners as well, and they'll have an opportunity at the final meeting at which you take action to respond to that staff report. But in the meantime, I am available to respond to any questions that the board has, as well as to any questions that the board may have after the public hearing. Thank you.
Thank you. Petitioner's presentation. Does Prism School of Arts and Technology wish to make a presentation regarding the charter petition? It looks like yes. Who will be speaking for Prism School of Arts and Technology?
Thank you. It'll be me, Dr. Derek Spiva, and I also have with me Mr. Jonathan Smith, who is our counsel, works with Boxbaum, Checkman, and Winder, who is our school counsel. So it'll be the two of us. So first, I want to just thank you for this opportunity, board, to present our vision for Prism School. And basically, I am here on behalf of over 100 families who have been urgently asking and requesting that there be additional options here in the Antelope Valley for their kids to go to schools that are smaller and a little bit more pointed towards the arts and technology. Currently, many of those families are driving their kids, and have been for years, to LA to get these kinds of experiences. So anyway, just to give you a little bit of an idea, the school is designed to be K through 12. We're looking at an opening Valley of students at about 200. Currently, we have somewhere near 100 families that have expressed serious interest. And we have a location at 44339 Beach Avenue that will be made available should we be approved. The school will focus on performing arts, innovative technology, including we have curriculum that that helps students to understand the future of AI and what their role in the world of tomorrow will be, since that right now is kind of an overwhelming part of our future that many of us are doing our best to try to manage and figure out, and young people are doing the same thing. I teach a workshop in Los Angeles at a YMCA, and one of the little girls came and she was just in tears about all the things that was happening with the data centers and the AI and the whole thing. And I really wanted to have some conversations to help them better understand what all of that is going to be about and how that impacts them. And I think we cannot avoid that. It really reminds me of the days when we all went from copiers to word processors and then to computers, and it just kind of was a big mess as far as people being anxious about what the future held with those types of technologies. And this is no different. This has actually probably caused more anxiety than some of the past transitions that we've made. So Prism School will be really designed to help them anticipate this future. We have 2 studios, one called Woodshed Studios in Burbank, and then another one called Hidden Empire, which is made up of NFL and NBA athletes who have decided to go into production, doing films. Some of their films are the top ones in the world. And so we're able to kind of connect sports with the entertainment industry with that. And so at this point, my colleague here is going to talk a little bit about the governance structure.
Thank you.
Excuse me, is the slide supposed to be moving? Because it's still on the cover page.
Oh, yes, it is. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Operator error, sorry.
Thank you, board members. So when it comes to charter schools and just schools in general, when we talk about the governance structure, it's highly important. It's a critical function for any organization to make sure that the education that is being facilitated to the students, but not only the students, the parents as well, in terms of helping educate them on the best ways to educate their children, it's critically important to make sure that that organizational structure is in place. Here at PRISM, what we have essentially is a top-down organizational structure, and that flows with the board, similar to how it is here with the district. You're going to have the board that's going to make the ultimate decision, set the course, the vision for the organization, right? So nothing's going to get passed without board approval. But in order to make sure that the plans, the visions, the goals are being executed by the board, we're going to need a school director to ensure that those things are actually taking place. So then from there, what's going to help that school director communicate whether or not the vision is actually being executed to the board is we're going to have a couple of different horizontal functions here. And so what that means is, if you notice, it says wisdom to go. This is a very crucial component because it's taking outside influences from advisors to get an outside approach as to what could be missing, what could be helping, and essentially keeping your ears to the street on these things. This allows the organization to understand not just being so incubated in its own daily functions, but at the same time, it's taking in information to make the most well-informed decisions. That also translates to the parent committee. Here we're talking about where parents can get involved because ultimately with any school, the buy-in of the parents is key. If parents don't buy in, then it's likely that the students won't buy in. And if the students don't buy in, not only will the school not function properly, it will cease to exist, and then we'll have more people in society who don't have the proper education to be able to have a fruitful society. So getting the parents involved is crucially important because when they do that, it helps communicate the information. They know their kids better than anyone else. I'm sure anyone in here will say, I know my kids, I know what they like. Having the parents involved is key to that because now they can communicate that to the school director, which once again flows back up top to the board to help make any adjustments that need to be made. And then lastly, we have the care team and the staff. This is kind of what brings it all together. Yes, it might just seem like administrative duties and functions, but ultimately when you have the care team and the staff involved, what that allows is that we get more bits of information. All of these work in tandem, but this helps execute the daily functions to help the school director be able to actually execute on the plans that the board is setting in place.
Here is a list of accountability and student outcomes, and all of this is detailed in the charter petition as is required by law. And then this is information about financials and that kind of thing. Obviously, charter schools are required to get audits every year and to comply with state policies and laws regarding financial management. And that concludes our presentation. Are there any questions?
And next, so thank you for the presentation. And then the next part is public comment. We will now take public comment on this item. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Total time for public comments is limited to 20 minutes. If you wish to speak, please hand in the speaker forms. Speakers shall direct their comments to the board and are urged to avoid repeating points made by previous speakers. Are there any public comments on this public hearing for this charter? All right, seeing no further speakers on the matter, public comment for the action is closed. Clarifying questions from the board. Are there any clarifying questions from the board for a petitioner or for Suki? No? Okay. Closed public hearing. The public hearing on the PRISM School of Arts and Technology Charter Petition is hereby closed at 11:45 a.m. Action on the PRISM School of Arts and Technology Charter Petition will be included on a future Antelope Valley Union High School District Board meeting agenda. Thank you. B, annual review of Board Policy Admin Regulations 6020, parent involvement. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees review the attached BPAR annually as presented. Is there anything here? C, review proposed discussions to board policies and administrative regulations. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees review proposed revisions to BPAR. Hold on, please. So these, parent involvement, 620. Sorry, I got a little confused on my notes here. So it's recommended that the Board of Trustees review the proposed revisions to the BPAR. Ms. Junihan, C and D.
So C is the lump sum of first reads for bringing policies into a 5-year window of review and update.
Okay.
D is specifically, I believe that one is staff dress.
Okay, so I do want to discuss something for the C, which it's a very long list, lengthy list of different policies, but I want to call attention to the board to consider for when we take action next time, policy 5113.2, which is regarding work permits. I want us as the board to look at and consider, right now it is saying that students can get a work permit with 15 absences or less, also GPA of 2.0. I did ask for a little statistics of, how many kids are in it. I got 150. What are their GPAs prior, during, and after? I didn't see any decline really. However, I urge us to consider bringing that GPA up to 2.5. If that's something that is going to keep them on their A to G completion, keep them on the right track. I just personally feel that when you're working, now you're working, you've got grades, there's got to be a reason a young person wants to work at 16. But I just think that 2.0 is a little too low. And also 15 absences. I know that's not chronic absenteeism, but it's only 3 days away from chronic absenteeism. So I would encourage us to lower that to less than what's already listed. So that is my piece on that particular work permit policy. And then the other was policy 5131.7. I think that's on this one. Yes, it is. This is the weapons and dangerous instruments. There was a lot of update to that, particularly with weapons for class instruction. So I would just make sure that in the policy, we are very clear about if and when it's approved, implementation, enforcing, making sure there's an actual procedure. And I would even go beyond just the principal, but to the sheriff. If you're going to have a replica of a knife on a stage, the sheriff should know. If you're going to have a replica of a gun, a pistol, the sheriff should know. So just something to think about there. Regulation 5144.1, that was the one that I had the question, Mr. Nehan, about the board suspensions. So if you could just get me info the next time for action. All right. And then that was it for C. Anything else? Policies? Okay. D, review board policies and admin regulations. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees review BPAR. All right. This was another nice list. I want to bring attention to policy 4119.2, and that is our dress and grooming. This one, it was time for a revisit, but I want us really as a board to look at this policy as an opportunity to give our staff and employees the place of let's dress for success. Let's hold our staff and employees accountable to being that leader in the room or being the leader in the office or anywhere. So because right now it's a pretty lax policy, but I think if we put this as an opportunity, we are the role models of the next generation. And I firmly believe that our teachers, our staff, anybody should dress whatever is that appropriateness. Obviously, this does not include PE and specific health academies and those specific things. That's very clear, not a part of this. But when I walk into a school and I see teachers in ripped t-shirts, shorts that have holes in them, flip-flops, how can our kids relate to that if that is kind of, I don't know. It's just my opinion. So anyway, policy, if we could look at that board for next time.
Madam President, one recommendation / clarification would be adding in there, it says slacks. I would suggest adding jeans as a part of it. You mentioned holes in shorts, jeans without holes, but clarifying for staff that those are acceptable.
Yeah, because right now it says slacks, but me personally I don't think of slacks as jeans. So if we spell it out, great. And I do recommend that we put what is inappropriate, whatever that is by the law. So Mr. Nehan can get all of that. Because, I'm a proponent of uniforms, but that'll never happen, I don't think. So anyway, something to think about for dress and grooming board, my 2 board members that are here. Okay, thank you. E, review curriculum guide designated English learner development 2. First read and discussion. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees review the attached curriculum guide. All right. F, review curriculum guide medical assistant honors, first read discussion. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees review the attached curriculum guide. All right. Okay. 8, student services action items. A, non-public, non-sectarian school master contract number STS 27023, Academy for Advancement of Children with Autism, Antelope Valley. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the agreement for non-public, non-sectarian school master contract number STS 27023 with Academy for Advancement of Children with Autism, Antelope Valley. May I have a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, motion passes. 9, human resources action items. Independent contractor agreement, PS number 262701. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the independent contractor agreement, PS number 262701, as presented. May I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. B, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department School Resource Deputy Program, PS number 202627002. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees ratify agreement, PS number 202627002, with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department School Resource Deputy Program, as presented. I'll make that motion. Can I get a second? Any discussion? All right. Any discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. C, approve of provisional internship permits, PIP. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve and direct the Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources, to submit provisional internship permits, allowing these individuals to teach in the subject areas indicated. I'll make the motion. Can I get a second? Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion passes. D, approval of short-term staff permit, STSP. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve and direct Assistant Superintendent of HR to submit short-term staffing permits, allowing these individuals to teach in the subject area indicated. Can I get a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. E, AVUHSD/AVTA collective bargaining MOU regarding certificated hourly rate. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the agreement with AVTA as presented. I will make that motion. Can I get a second? Any discussion? No? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Seeing none. Motion passes. F, Cabinet salary schedules. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the 2026-2027 Cabinet salary schedule as presented. I'll make the motion. Can I get a second? Second. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. 10. Business services action items. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve year-end appropriation transfers as presented. May I have a motion? A second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. B, approve 2-year service agreement with Coates Heating and Cooling, Inc. to provide maintenance of the central plant and HVAC system at Eastside High School. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the 2-year service agreement with Coates Heating and Cooling, Inc. for maintenance of Eastside High School's central plant. May I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes. C, approve agreement for architectural engineering services with Pazishki Engineering, Inc. for the central plant upgrade project. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve an agreement between the district and Pazishki Engineering. Is that right, Mr. Vinsko?
Possession.
Pazeshki. Okay.
Close enough.
Apologies. For for engineering and design of the central plant upgrade project. I'll make the motion. Can I get a second? Any discussion? All right, seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. D, motion passes. D, approve amendment number 2 to joint powers agreement with Antelope Valley School Transportation Agency, AVSTA. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve amendment number 2 to JPA between AVUHSD and AVSTA and authorize the Assistant Superintendent of Business Services to sign the amendment as presented. I can make the motion. Can I get a second? And any discussion? I just have to say thank you for bringing this forward. I looked and it was not done since 2018. So thank you for bringing us up to the now. All right, can I get all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Madam President?
Yes.
For 11A, I would recommend we bring that at a subsequent meeting. We bring it back due to the numbers on the dais.
Perfect. All right, 11A will be tabled. 11B, adopt resolution number 2026-2702, ordering an election, requesting the County Elections Division to conduct the elections, requesting county consolidation of the election, and specifications of the election order. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt resolution number 2026-2702, ordering an election, requesting the County Elections Division to conduct the elections, requesting county consolidation of the election, and specification of the election order. Can I get a motion? Motion. Cynthia will take the second. Any discussion here? No. All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. 12, approve consent agenda. Approve items listed in the following consent agenda categories: educational, student services, human resources, business, and administrative services. Actions proposed for the consent agenda are items consistent with adopted policies and approved practices of the district and are deemed routine in nature. The board will be asked to approve all of the items in the consent agenda by a single vote unless any member of the board asks for an item to be removed from the consent agenda to be considered and discussed separately. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the items listed in the following consent agenda categories: educational, student, human resources, business, and administrative services as presented. So, Mr. Nehan, I always have this question. I just want to pull for discussion. Do I do that now? I do the motion first. Okay. Can we, well, actually, I want us to pull table 13T, Savas Learning Company.
Can we pull that for discussion first and then pull it? We have discussion.
I want to pull it.
So what I want to do is clarify, that is,
The Savas Learning Company?
yeah. Dr. Grado, would this have any impact on our before-school activities for new teacher orientation or for the August 5th all-teacher orientation?
I believe so. They are going to have PD at the August 5th.
So what I would ask, Madam President, if you want to pull it, we can get more information, but I would ask that the board be willing to come back for a special meeting so that we can proceed as planned with our PD for the beginning of the school year.
Okay, so then we can discuss why I'm pulling it when we get to that.
That's
So,
fine.
okay,
Yeah.
so 13T, 16A, 16T, just for discussion. T is in tiger. Tom. Tony the tiger. And 16H. Okay. Anything that you all want to pull for discussion only? Cynthia? No? Okay. The reason I was wanting to have more or pull or talk more about 13T, Savas Learning Company, this is a newer initiative, I guess we could call it, from last year. So this is the second year we're doing this. This is over $120,000. And as part of our responsibility here and with our strategic plan, it is very important that whatever we get, we make sure it's working. And so what I wanted is just more information on how year one went and who's using it, how has it helped in classroom engagement, or because I was trying to read the pretty aspect of it, but obviously it's a lot of information. So that's what I want. And so what you are asking is we can still vote on it, but we'll get the information, or because I don't want to vote on something that's over $120,000 if it's not what we want it to be doing. So what should we do?
We can get you the information either way.
Okay.
It's going to take a little time to pull that together. I don't know if we'd be able to do it before new teacher orientation or all teacher day. We're in year 1, so it's going to be limited information anyway. I would ask that the board approve this, and then we can bring it back in presentation or bring back data points specific to your questions.
And this is a 1-year grant or 1-year contract, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I'm willing to do that if you all are okay. Okay, but it will not be forgotten. I would like to have that info, please. Okay, and then 16A, I just want to give a recognition for our donations. Thank you to those donors that have given to our high school district and high schools. There were 3. One of them was $10,000, which is amazing, from Dick's Sporting Goods for their swim club. And that's amazing. And no matter the amount, we're so grateful. So thank you. 16H, this is the district-wide security refresh. I just wanted to acknowledge the hard work that this board has put together since 2022 with Mr. Nehan and his cabinet of completing what we promised, which was safer schools. And we firmly believe with this security refresh, we have made our schools safer and more secure, and it's complete. Over $5 million has been invested in all of the sites and property, DO, to my understanding, also here, right? And we have our Evolve, we have the cameras, soon we'll have vape for a pilot, vape sensors, thank you. So I just wanted to thank the board for the belief in getting this done. I know Mr. Hughes would like to probably say some words here, but I know he's really happy with this, and so it's been a year-long process, and we're done. And the staff, absolutely, the staff that has supported it, gone through, surveys and inquiries and walkthroughs with the contractors, everything. Just very grateful and thankful, and I do hope that as our surveys to parents and families and employees come out, that we will see an uptick of feeling safe and secure in our spaces. So we can hope for that. And then this is a transparency thing for 16T. This was the conference trip requests. Just to make note, there were 2 employees that were listed multiple times for the same conference. I just want to assure the public that that was a typo error. It's obviously not being charged 2 and 3 times for the same person, but I have let Mr. Nehan know, and it is going to be fixed, but we will go ahead and vote on it anyway. All right. Anything else? Nope. Okay. I always have something to say. All right. Yes. So we're going to now vote. So all those in favor say, oh, sorry. Can I get a motion? Motion. Can I get a second? Cynthia gave the motion. Can I get a second? Okay. Now we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. The consent agenda passes. All right. 18, from the board superintendent, Mr. Nehan.
Thank you. Always appreciate the partnership and support of the board. Thank you to the 3 of you and to the 5. And then when we get back to our next August meeting, we'll have a new student board member. Anxious to have him join us up here. I do want to say congratulations to our new members of the administrative ranks. I see Tiffany Booth out there. Welcome and congratulations. And Mr. Mercier. And I think I jumped the gun a little bit, but My apologies. I was excited. And just want to say thank you to all of our staff that's here during the summer. I hope you were able to get some time off, and I hope everybody else is eking out the last few days of summer before we get into the full swing of the school year.
Thank you, Mr. Nehan. Cynthia, Ms. Hernandez, I know it's very hard for you to speak, so she's going to pass this time, but she's very grateful. Look at that smile. All right, thank you. Mr. Sanchez?
Zach, surprise.
We haven't voted yet.
No, just want to say thank you to the staff still working out there. I know we're going to be working on a lot of new CTE programs in the nearby. The Sheriff's Department, I know they're going to be an asset with us. I met with them last week and this week, so they're looking forward and supporting our program.
Great,
that
thank you.
Our staff has brought in. We're going to start looking into a choir or an orchestra band from our school district. IBW was very happy and pleased with having the East Side drum line out there. So now they're going to want a choir, a large group if we can, maybe combine schools. That'll be nice. Yeah, that's beautiful. I think that will be good. And then same thing, they're gonna give a donation after that, so to the program.
Thank you. I would, again, just very grateful for this opportunity to read 2,000 pages of an agenda and really feel we're making the impact within this district for our youth and for our community. I did want to say over the summer, Mr. Nehan, Ms. Williams, and others that kind of pop in and out for our Safe Schools and Responsible Behavior Advisory Committee. I feel really good about that committee. We've been meeting every 3 weeks or so, and we've received great support from and buy-in from the Sheriff's Department, the LPD, the different school districts, the two cities. I would like us to try to bring in Little Rock, rural, their chamber maybe, just something from the Little Rock area to really address and be actionable about safe schools and responsible behaviors. So that we've been working really hard on that. I am very excited for the new school year. Can't wait to start getting to schools and visiting schools to see all of the wonderful things that we're doing, but also all of the places that we could always have a little bit of improvement, and there's nothing wrong with that. So thank you. Just thank you, everybody. Okay. I think I have everybody. Okay. All right, now closed session. 19C. During the closed session, the board considered the employee appointment title, Director 1, Student Services. By a vote of 4-0, the board took an action to approve the appointment of Mr. Zach Mercier to Director 1, Student Services. Congratulations. 19D, during the closed session, the board considered the employee appointment title, Coordinator, Student Services. By a vote of 4-0, the board took action to approve the appointment of Shannon Burden to Coordinator, Student Services. Is she here? Congratulations, Ms. Shannon Burden. 19E, during the closed session, the board considered the employee appointment title, Vice Principal. By a vote of 4-0, the board took action to approve the appointment of Tiffany Booth to Vice Principal. I think that's you in the back, right? Congratulations. By a vote of 4-0, the board took action to approve the appointment of Grant Livermont to Vice Principal. Congratulations, Mr. Livermont. All right, 19F. May I please have a motion to approve administrative hearing panel recommendations for student expulsions and to order as presented the expulsions of 3 students. I will make the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. going to read G through K together. So item 19G is during closed session, the board considered a request to waive healthful living for AVHSD students, HW 262715, student HW 262716, student HW 262717, student HW 262718, student HW 262719. And we have to vote. We already did. Where is it written? It's not listed. It wasn't written. Is it for?
19G by a vote of 3 to 0, the board voted to approve those requests.
Great, thank you. Thank you. 19L, during closed session, the board considered the final settlement agreement and general release, number STS 27030, OAH case number 2026-050742. By a vote of 4 to 0, the board took action to approve the agreement. Item 19M, during the closed session, the board considered the final settlement agreement and general release number STS 27031, OAH case number 2026-050254. By a vote of 4 to 0, the board took action to approve the agreement. All right. Now it is recommended to adjourn our meeting. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? As the clock ticks. No. All right, no discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Oh,
Aye.
D. Oh. We've got 3 ayes. All right, thank you, everyone. The motion passes. Have a great Thursday.